Hello, beautiful, beautiful people. Thank you for always joining. Really, honestly appreciate it. I fucking love doing this. We have a very special guest. She actually specifically did this just for moi, and I asked her actually to not only join, but to do it for my birthday now. And I really appreciate this individual, beautiful, wonderful person, for agreeing to do this for my birthday.
Hello.
Thank you. Hello. I'm so happy right now.
Oh, and happy belated birthday. It was last week, right?
Thank you. I remember asking, I was like, I wonder if she's gonna say yes to me. And then I was like, what's the least she's gonna say no? I was like, all right, cool. So let me ask. And I was like, this would be like a perfect early birthday gift. So I'm like, yes, thank you so much. Honestly, like it really does mean a lot that you did want to hop on and join.
I'm so excited to be chatting with you. I love like meeting new friends and getting to actually talk, not just like comments on Instagram and things like that,
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Okay, I love what you're doing. Literally, I fucking love what you're doing. You're a social worker, or you're pursuing to be a social worker, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into that sexiness. Like, I love what you're doing. It's a beautiful thing. Only very few people can honestly do that line of work. So let's go. Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I only discovered my passion for social work about, I guess, 6 months ago. And it was really after starting my brand here on Instagram and just sharing LGBTQ education and realizing that like talking really openly just about life and identity and issues like that was what I was passionate about, more so than like the career that I was doing. It's just been like a wild ride. Like I applied to grad school. I got into the school that I'm at right now in Bryn Mawr, in Pennsylvania, and it's been awesome. Like I cannot believe how passionate I am about social work.
And I can feel it. Like even you just talking about it, I'm getting chills just talking about it. I can totally feel that. No, that's amazing that you're honestly doing this, because people do need more people like you to be in this world, to just say, hey, like everything that you're saying. I mean, like when you are in the line of work, I mean, describe more of that, because that is actually pretty cool for people who may also, in their city, in their state, in their wherever they are, maybe want to also do it as well too.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about social work is that you can do so many things with it. A lot of people do like clinical social work and become a therapist. That's not really where my focus is, though. I'm very interested in kind of like the larger scale community advocacy and like policy work. And just like working with like larger people as a community. And that's kind of like I'd say the big split in social work. Like, do you want to work with individual people, or do you want to work with like systems and communities as a whole? But like either is possible, and you can also kind of mix and match and make your own career. Like even me doing my, social media based education, like I could turn that into my, my social work career, or a big base of it.
Yes, that's actually what I was thinking too. I was like, I wonder if you're gonna like flip that and like kind of like go and dive into that, or like, how like some people, they'll have what they have on their social media, and then they'll have like another platform, where they're like, hey, I do this, but then like here at me here, and then like go check out this as well too.
Exactly. Yeah, I think again, like that's the coolest thing about social work, that it can be applied to so many things, and all you like need to be a social worker is to just want to help the people who aren't really getting help, and that can look like so many things, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, no, I love it. Okay, so with the like how much longer do you have to do this until like I guess you start like getting into it?
So
this is all new to me.
Yeah. Oh, and it's been new to me too. I've been figuring it out as I go. And most social work programs are about 2 years, and that's what mine is. So technically, I'll be an official social worker in May 2023. So it's only a year and a half away, really, which is wild to think about. But like a lot of grad school programs, I think, are kind of in that 2 or 3 year range.
Okay.
And college, which is usually 4 years. Because it definitely feels like I'm like zipping by with this already, But
no, but yeah, because you're 23. That's literally that's right around the corner. You're gonna be done, and then you're gonna have like your own like platform of just plethora of awesome. So that's gonna be really cool, honestly.
I know. I'm so excited just to be able to say that.
You're trying to like work with like a whole broad of just like the whole LGBT Q community, right? Just like the whole, okay, cool.
Yeah, and like as I, do my work, because like part of social work school is you also do a field internship and you get to, intern at an actual organization and like do work there. And so, as I do my field work, I'll kind of be able to see, if there's other parts of social work or of the world that I can see myself like fitting into. But as of right now, I definitely see like just working with the LGBTQ community in helping people like develop their identities and just learn about all the possible things out there, because LGBTQ education and just like being real about like your bodies and sex and like life and everything is not really common or mainstream at all. So like we can
I just got more chills. Yes, you're very right. That's why people like us are out here, because it's just like, hey,
exactly,
it's more than okay. Literally, it's like it's normal, but it's just getting people to get the normalcy of being like, it is okay to be exactly who you are, what you are. Your thoughts are someone else's thoughts somewhere around this world, and it's just like just fine tuning and just like understanding that it is normal. And it's like some people I get like friends are like, that's not normal. I'm like, maybe to you it's not normal, but like to someone else that's their normal. So it's really like normal is really to like someone's like viewpoint, really.
So, exactly. And really, like, no one's normal. What is normal even?
Thank you. That's why whenever someone's like, that's not normal, I'm just like, well, to you it's not, but to someone else it is, because it's like their livelihood, what they're doing, what they go through on a day-to-day basis. So yes, to them, yes, but to you, no. So I can see where you're coming from. You got to also seek to understand this person's point of view as well, too. You see what I'm saying as well.
The difference is like in the words normal versus normalized. Because like nothing's normal, there's no such thing as normal, but there are certain things that are normalized in society, and certain behaviors and like ways of being and looking. That doesn't mean that they're correct or good or normal. It just means that they are the more commonly spread messages and like statuses that you have to attain. So I think that distinction is definitely important. He says,
I know we got some questions. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Yes, let's go. Okay, so from Ebony Vance, any of you know anything about other kink types?
Ooh, do you know anything about that?
I would say, okay, so I mean, it can really could go anywhere. So like kinks can like dive into like BDSM, it's like fetishes. I mean, there's fetishes all over the place where there's sploosh. If people don't know that, I mean, if there's a sploosh person out there, please comment in this right now. That just means somebody who's like into and like really actually gets horny and turned on from someone smearing food, like chips, syrup, things you drink, soda. I mean, the whole 9 yards. Like, just imagine like someone pouring honey on you, and then someone pouring cereal on you, and then crushing it on your body. Like, there's just like that feeling. It's just like, but I would say, I mean, that can really go anywhere. With that, do we have any about kink or other kinks? Yeah, that's one of them. BDSM. I mean, would you say that you're into like BDSM, or like do you have any like kind of fetishes that you're into?
I've definitely like been interested in BDSM. I'm still kind of like figuring out my relationship with sex and things, because I also have like a lot of sexual trauma in the past, and like that's kind of very much colored my views and like comfort levels with sex. But I'm figuring it out kind of still.
Yeah.
But it's definitely I've definitely been interested in BDSM and like power dynamics, but like it would have to be obviously with somebody that I trust completely, because I've been in like involuntary power dynamic situations that I don't want to do, so.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, because that is a thing where it's like, then people get really scared to get into BDSM because they think like, oh my God, then there's this. It's just like, hey, no, like there's a whole list of things like of just like having consent. Consent is sexy, people. Never forget it, okay? And it's just like when you are getting into BDSM and you're giving someone full control over what it is, obviously having safe words. Mine is just yes and no. Like those are my simple. I just like keeping it simple. I just like just simple. Not bananas, pineapples, red, green. I'm just like yes, no. Like as soon as you hear it, just no or yes.
Positive word too, because I've always heard like safe words as being just a negative thing for things are bad, but I like having like a signal of things are good too. That's very nice.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so let's dive into Ren Onishi. I'm sorry if I totally butchered that name. I have no idea. How do you get over the feeling of not being able to relate to your friends when all they talk about is their crushes? You don't even know what it feels like. I don't know what AROAC means. Do you know what that is?
Aroace, yeah. So that's aromantic and asexual.
Alexa, volume 2. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so that's aromantic and asexual. So that means that this person doesn't experience romantic or sexual attraction, or does so in a limited way, or only in specific circumstances.
Yeah.
And it's definitely really challenging because the societal norm is that you have a partner, that you have crushes, you want that's the goal kind of, and the end goal, what that is put onto us. But if that's not what you want, and that's what keeps getting pushed into you, that can cause a lot of dissonance and inner turmoil. And it definitely is really hard to be around those people in person. One thing you could do is find an online community. That's kind of what I always suggest. And that's been especially normalized, during COVID and the pandemic and quarantine and everything, because people were kind of forced to go online to find their communities. And there's so many people here. I am Aroace myself. So you can, talk to me or talk to anybody online.
Oh, yes. Everyone who's going to watch this moving forward, please, if you have any of these same situations, literally go follow her. Literally. I mean, if you see the plethora of all the awesomeness that you have to offer, honestly, it's very beautiful. I love it. It's fun to listen to and watch, and it's very educating. And it's very needed in this world, especially with someone just expressing how they felt. I've actually never heard of it until you.
Oh, nice.
So that's why for me, I'm just wow. And this is why, yes, to a lot of people, social media is something that is negative. But if you're following things that are not so positive, instead of educational, then yes, I could see where social media can be a turmoil. But for me, Instagram and people like you and as myself are people that are just totally open, very educational, just being totally here for you, 100%. You need anything, we got you.
Yes, it's so true. We are in your community. You can come in so many different forms, and also if you're interested in learning more about Aroace stuff or being seen by it, I'm just doing recently a series on my page specifically about different aromantic and asexual identities, and kind of going deeper into those. So that's one way to kind of really feel firm, just to see content that is educating about your identities and getting people to learn more about
100. I love that. Yes.
Yeah, because asexual and aromantic identities within the LGBTQ spectrum, they're kind of the most marginalized, the least talked about. So you can feel alienated even within the LGBTQ community. Also because so much of the LGBTQ community from outsiders is super sexualized and so about that life. And if you're not about that life, then there's a disconnect there too.
Mm-hmm. So when what is it? How do you pronounce it one more time?
The aromantic, asexual, that one.
And the other one. What was the other one?
Aroace is the phrase.
Aroace. Learned a new word today, everybody. I hope you also learned a new word too, because that's pretty freaking cool.
I love that word. It's a great one.
Yeah, aerospace. Okay, so Aroace. Aroace. I'm so sorry. It's like learning Spanish.
Yeah, the arrow is aromantic, and then the ace is asexual. So then you just put them together. Aroace.
Awesome. Okay, I love it. Okay, and then so for me, I guess on how to approach friends like that, because I mean those are already their friends. Do you see what I'm saying? That's already their friends. So it's just letting their friends know, hey, I'm asexual. Hey, I'm asexual. I know that you guys are talking about your crushes and stuff. I totally just can't relate to any of that. And then just kind of approaching it and just being I guess the person can also ask questions, or more just be kind of just get involved and be just kind of what is that like for you? Well, how does it feel? Because it's if you don't feel that, or if there's no I guess no intimacy, because there's no actual sexual intimacy, correct?
Some people do enjoy sex. Some people are completely repulsed by it, though. So everyone is kind of different in their experience.
Yeah.
can also like have sex without experiencing sexual attraction, like per se. You know, your desires and like your attractions can differ from your acts. So it definitely depends per person, but it's like experiencing it or wanting it in a more like limited way or only under specific circumstances.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, lovely.
I
the person that was responding.
Yeah, no, that was great, and that was such a like an assertive response, and like I like that because my typical like thing is not to stick up for myself and to just like go like be by myself in the corner and like find my own way. But like I love the idea of just purely stating your truth to your friends like that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Like I need to do that more. Like that's such a good skill to have. So I brought that up.
No, that's just because like in personal preference, like for me, like being around my friends, I mean, they know that I love talking about this stuff. Like it's inevitable. Like, yes, even with people who are like asexual, because I have been around people who just don't care to talk about sex, then I'll just cater the conversation to them then. And I won't make them feel kind of like left out. Then I'm like, okay, so then I won't really talk about that. Like, what do you want to talk about, love?
Yeah.
It can still even be about like even sex. If you have questions for me, you can totally ask me. Like if you have then questions for me, instead of me just kind of like word vomiting and just kind of like talking out loud like I normally do, like ask me anything you want, literally anything. It doesn't matter. Like you're totally free. It's a free range out there. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. You're a great friend. I can tell.
Oh, thank you. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay, I want to come out to my family. Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what? This is awesome because literally I was going to ask you what your coming out was. Okay, but let's finish this one. So I want to come out to my family. Beautiful. Got chills. I'm sure they'll be supportive. And I love the positivity after you just said that because you're affirming what is and knowing your family is going to be a good outcome. So you already know. It's just how to say it. Okay, so but I don't want to be awkward. Exactly right. Okay. I don't know what to do. Okay, awesome. Yay. Okay, so with your, we can give personal like experiences. Like this is perfect, and then just kind of like lay it out there. I like giving people certain scenarios.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Let's hear like what your experience was when you came out and how you came out to your family and friends.
Yeah, so actually my experience kind of aligns with this question because I too knew that my parents would be supportive. Oh, wait, one second. Yeah, I knew they would be supportive. I knew that it would be fine, but I didn't want to be awkward, and I felt really awkward, like at the idea of having like a whole sit-down conversation and like that kind of stuff. So I came out via text. I sent like a group chat to my family, and I had written everything out beforehand. I could like think about what I was going to say, really reflect on it, make sure it aligned, you know, with what I was feeling. And then I could press send. I just like put my phone away, and like I knew that the text that would come in would be like, you know, we love you, Zoe, you're awesome, like whatever. But I didn't even have to like touch it until I was ready. So that is one approach. And I always tell people, you know, coming out doesn't have to be a big awkward conversation where you have a whole sit down thing with your family and like. No. Like that for some people that's wonderful and like amazing if you like that, but not everybody does, especially those of us who have anxiety and social anxiety. That's not so fun. Mm-hmm. So there are many ways to come out. It doesn't have to be like that.
Okay, so whenever I came out to my family, I almost think they knew I was. They're just like, so when I came out to tell them, like, I mean, when I let them know, it was just one of those things where they're just like, we knew. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like when I went to my sisters and like, you know, I would just kind of like casually talk about it. And then I'd be like, oh, I was dancing with a woman. They're like, yeah, we kind of figured you would do that. And I'm like, you would? They're like, because don't let this hair fool you, people. I used to have very short hair. I actually used to even be bald at one point. Or as one person would say, I wasn't bald, I had a shaved head.
I love it.
So I had a shaved head. I had the shaved head for like, 3 years. I had a pixie cut, like more like a guy, like a literal guy's haircut. So like I went to an actual barber where like, you know, like you're surrounded by a bunch of males and you just walk in and you're just like, hey, I want one of those. Like every time you're just like one of those. And then I actually found one that was like more consistent. But when I did come out to my family, my mom especially was just like, I love you no matter what. It's totally cool. Like, I mean, she's like, whether you go here, whether you go there, I mean, you're gonna, it's cool. And I was like, all right, this is awesome. Like, I love this. And then like ever since then, like my family even was the same way as well too. They even said the same thing. They would even make jokes about it. They're just like, and me being me, like I'm super like sarcastic. I don't like, you throw a joke at me, it's whatever. Like, then I'm like, oh, haha, good one. Then I'm like, hey, ah. So when I came out, that was me coming out. But like that's a beautiful way for Thornas Draws. I'm sorry if I butchered your name as well too, but that's actually a very awesome way of doing it. Is like sending a mass message to the people who are the most important to you, and then like obviously separate your family from your friends. Unless your friends are like like are enjoying with your family as well too, then that's totally different. But then yeah, it's just like involving them in a group message and just letting them all know like, hey, and then just kind of like give them a whole shenanigans, and like towards the end it's just being like, hey, I am who I am. I absolutely love you guys. Like I don't want this to kind of deteriorate our relationship. If anything, like I'm still me. It's just now you just know something new about me.
I literally said almost verbatim what you just said in like one of my coming out texts. Like that, it was the best. It was literally just that, like, this does not change anything about who I am. It's just a better word that I found to describe myself. So as I said, thank you so much. This makes me so much more confident. I am so glad to hear that. And if you want us to share more,
I seriously got more chills. This is my hairs are standing up. I'm so happy right now.
Good.
Love you, girls. You too, Boo Bear. You too. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we got any other fantastic questions. Let's see. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go. What? Oh, I'm getting a lot of like waves. Like,
oh, that's so fun.
I know. Yeah. Let's see. Good. Okay, both are lesbian. Good looking.
Funny.
Well, would you say you consider yourself lesbian?
Yes. Do you?
I am a pansexual.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
I'm pansexual. So, if those who don't really know pansexual, just so you guys know, actually, let's let the lovely Zoe answer. I mean, this is. Let's go, baby. Go on.
Yeah.
My definition.
The first thing I will say is that it is not attraction to pans. That's what a lot of people say, but that's not what it is, obviously. Pansexual, a lot of people describe it as being kind of gender blind, being attracted to anybody regardless of what their gender is, just being attracted to who they are as a person, though not everybody uses that like gender blind phrase. I personally, I really like the explanation. I don't know if you've seen Schitt's Creek. Have you seen that?
It has been forever.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
When David, who is pansexual, he explains that he likes the wine and not the label. I love that.
Oh my goodness. I have to now watch it because of that all over again. That is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I love that.
Then that is me in a nutshell. Yes. Okay. I mean, you give me, like a wine, doesn't matter whether it's white wine, red wine. For me, I'm like, it's going to get me feeling really good if I drink just enough of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let's see. So you're bisexual. I guess, okay, so I would say yes and no to that. The only reason why I say yes and no to the bisexual, 84, 81 Stefan, is because bisexual is like for men and women. Pansexual is for men, women, non-binary, transgenders, the whole 9 yards. I mean, everything. Anything under the sun. It's just, they make like, it's the energy. It's an energy thing. So if we're together and like we're having a great time, and I mean, let's just say they end up being transgender. And then I don't find out until like after the conversation, and then we like start talking a little bit more. Then I'm like, hey, it's totally cool. Like I really like you a lot. Like, are you cool with still moving forward together? And then it's just like affirming the other person, like, hey, you don't have to be ashamed of who you are, because you are who you are regardless. I mean, so I'm gonna enjoy you, period.
Yeah.
So
bisexual can also be attraction to more than just men and women. That's kind of a very, like, societal understanding of it. thinking of there's just the gender binary, they assume bi means two and it's like men and women. Bisexual people can also be attracted to like non-binary people, and like some people do use the words bisexual and like pansexual interchangeably, although there are like slight differences, because like some people would say that you know, pansexual people are attracted again to anyone kind of regardless of gender, whereas bisexual people might only be attracted to like two genders. It might be like, you know, women and non-binary people or something like that, but not necessarily all. So that that's kind of a distinction that people make as well. But like as you're saying, pansexual people are can definitely be just more about like the vibe of the person and less about who, like what the person like, you know, looks like or what their genitalia is and all whatever, you know.
Exactly. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Yay. Okay, we got down to all the questions. If any of you lovely people, I mean, you see the title, join and ask anything. We love this. This is amazing. I know this is definitely amazing for you as well too. Like me, I can't even tell you how many chills I got in this entire conversation.
Yeah.
So much fun. And I'm an empath too, so when I feel it, I'm like, oh God, that felt good.
yeah. I so relate to that.
Oh my, okay, so you said you have, what, or no, I'm gonna backtrack. Okay, so have you ever dated men? Like, how did you, like, what was that transition like for you? Like, did you first start dating men? Were you originally attracted to women? Like, what was that like for you?
Yeah, so I didn't realize that I was a lesbian until I was 20. And so I unfortunately started dating men when I was 14, and it was awful.
I love that you said that, unfortunately.
Yeah, oh my God. It's like, I often think about, like, what would my life be like if I had realized that I was a lesbian sooner, you know, because I dated men, like, just so much. I was, like, a serial dater from ages 14 to 20 with men, and it was like, oh my God, thinking back now, like, I can't even believe, and I knew that something, like, didn't feel right, but I assumed that, like, something was wrong with me, and, like, because, like, I didn't even realize it was possible to be gay and to not do what I was doing. So I put so much blame on myself, and like it was such a relief when I realized that there's this whole other kind of life that I can be living, and like nothing is me, you know. I just should not be dating these awful people who happen to be men, you know.
Yes, live your truth, people. Live your truth. If there's something bad feeling, just so you people who are watching this and future people who will be watching this, if you're dating a man or if you're a man dating a woman, it can go both ways. Or if you're getting that just gut feeling, it doesn't even have to be a gut wrenching feeling. It's just like a feeling that just doesn't feel good, where you're just like, hey, like this just doesn't fit. Really diagnose into that. That way you don't have to wait. I've heard there was this one gentleman, he was 70 when he officially came out and like then announced, hey, I'm completely gay. Like I'm a gay man. No, like period, end of discussion. And for me, it's just like, it's better late than never. Like, I love that even when he 70 years old, come on, people. At 70 years old, that has to tell you something as well, too. Like, yes, he was very happy, very proud. He even put pride flags all over his backyard because he's just like, I'm gay, I'm proud, and I want, this is who I am. And that was very beautiful at even 70. So it's just like, for people who will be watching this, whether you're 18, 15, 10, I mean, for me, honestly, I was young. I was actually really young when I knew that I did swing both ways, but because of society, you only saw in TVs and in movies that there were only men and women kissing. That for me, I was just like, okay, so I guess that's the normal, and then the other way of thinking is not normal. So once I got older, and obviously, like there's porn. I mean, I love porn. I'm never gonna like diss on porn. Yes, there is bad porn out there. Okay, people, I get it. I totally get it. But if you look up really nice porn, like sensual porn, just type it up. Sensual porn. The best.
I'll up later, yeah.
It's the best, and you get like it almost is like when you look up sensual porn, you're getting like what people would actually do like in like actual sex. So I'm just like, because they're going slow, they're like, just doing things that you would do. It's just fun. So people look up sensual porn. That's going to be the most realist version, at least in my personal opinion, of getting like a real version of like what sex is, but it's actually like there's a camera right there and it's professional. Okay, so let's see. I heard you talking about asexualism as I joined. This is what I thought I was, but the other day I came across demisexual. Yes, 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 yes. Demisexual. Have you heard of this? Of course, you're talking to a professional. Zoe, let's go.
A professional who also, this is my identity, demisexual. I love it. So it's within the sexual umbrella. And it means that you don't experience sexual attraction for a person until you've gotten to know them and formed like a close emotional bond with them. That can mean something different to everybody. Like for me, if I feel kind of similar with like the vibing with somebody's energy. Like but that energy has to be like a feminine energy for me. Like, but once I get to know that energy and like I vibe with it, then I can see the person as like, you know, an object of my sexual desires or whatever, whatever. But like before that, they're just a person. So definitely a super cool and valid identity. And if this person who sent the question wants to talk more about it or has any other questions about it, feel free to send it in. But that's I think it's one of the best because I'm biased. But yeah,
Mandaya girl,
amazing.
So for you, love, go and hit up Zoe, and yours truly will definitely dive in a lot more. But that was a wonderful question. Honestly, thank you to everyone who's literally participating. This seriously means a lot. And you guys are freaking fantastic for this. And for us personally, like, this is very meaningful because this is going to really help people moving forward to understand, like, that it's okay to be who you are, that it's okay to be around your friends. It's more than fucking okay to be around your family. And if they don't understand you, it's just really just like, not really educating them, but like if they want to get to know you, then they will get to know you. I mean, that's just it at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, but let's see.
Oh, and you deserve to have people in your corner who love you and know you for exactly who you are. And you don't have to put on facade or pretend or anything. You could just be yourself and have that love.
And you already have two of us right here that literally totally support all of you. So this is even like fucking cooler. Okay, so Vash 95. I made a lot of mistakes before I got with my girl, and I'm very fortunate for having her in my life. Aww. Shout out. What's up? All right, let's see. To Ja Funsad. I hope I said that right, baby. I've been trying to listen to my guts to understand who I am. Asexual, perhaps. Okay, beautiful. But I am the kind of guy that likes reading. Oh, looks like we're two peas in a pod over here. What readings can you recommend? Oh, okay. Well, mine are more business. So, which ones would you recommend?
Readings like about asexuality.
Yes, I want to say yes to cater to that answer, or even just like even sexuality, just in general. Like we're like there's like that.
Yeah, I mean, like my favorite place to get that kind of information is social media. I know I create like, you know, kind of graphics and like info things about asexuality specifically, as do other people. But even just like on Reddit, honestly, Reddit's been like a great community for me as well to kind of find information and get like kind of, you know, external websites and sources and literature about kind of whatever deep dive I'm interested in. I'd love to hear some of your resources too, though, because I'm sure you've.
I don't honestly. I'm gonna be. That's why I said more. Mine is more business than it is what is it? More like sex books.
Mm.
I would. That's just more me. But yeah, I don't honestly. I don't. That's why I wanted you to answer it. So I was like,
social media. That's my answer.
I know, and then there's that too. Like, I love the social media. I love the like work behind what social media has behind it as well too. So yeah, like honestly, like 10 leaders. What is it? 5 steps to leadership. What is it? Gary V books. Let us see. A Grant Court. What is it? Grant Cardone or Grant Cardone, something like that. He's a huge business person. He's one of them. But if you want to read business ones, those are really good ones. Oh, The Color Code. Oh. That one's a great one. The Color Code is like identifying just like more like people So like me, I'm yellow, but for me, I like to say like I'm just all across the board, just like all the colors, because I'm like, why not be all the color? You know, when I'm reading the book, I'm just like, I feel like I'm all of them. Okay, so from Prana, I'm gonna just cut it there. So hi, so I recently changed my pronouns to she, they, yay. I've been trying to figure out if I want to label my gender identity or not. Like label it on your social media is what you're saying. I know pronouns don't equal gender, but do you have any resources? Oh my God, humans are amazing.
Yes, so you are correct that pronouns are not equal to
questions.
Yes, I love all these questions. It's amazing. And yeah, if you are more than allowed to change your pronouns without like addressing your gender label, or you can if you want to. Personally, I did change my pronouns and my gender label kind of at the same time. I'm gender fluid, and my pronouns are also she they. But I know a lot of cisgender people, cisgender women who use she they pronouns, and like that's completely fine as well. I also know people who know that their gender is it's something, but they don't really have the mental capacity to touch that right now.
Yeah,
but they still want to use she they pronouns. That's awesome too. Whatever kind of boat you are in is completely valid. But it's super awesome that you decided to change your pronouns. Like that's super cool to figure out what words make you feel affirmed in that way. I love that.
Completely. Okay, cool. So just so you all lovely people know, we got about 10 minutes left on this bad boy because our lovely has some shenanigans that they have to do. So if there's any other questions that you guys have for us, lay it on us because we got your back part, people. We're here for you. Thank you both. No, thank you for not only just being who you are, but like having enough courage to like answer ask that question. So like honestly, thank you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I was trying to think of like a fun, cool question.
Yeah, whip it out.
I want you to describe for me what kind of like atmosphere makes you feel most confident. It's a vague question, and I can go deeper if you need.
Oh yeah, no, I like it. I like vague questions because honestly, I'm that way too.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So what atmosphere makes me the most confident? Okay, so well, I'm in marketing. So I actually talk to literally thousands of people on a daily basis. So I love talking to people just in general. Just like I love what I do. Like when I'm at work, you just never know what you're gonna get when you're out there. With talking to anyone, everyone. Where it makes me feel most confident, honestly, anywhere. Like that's the most like honest answer I can give you. Like if I ever do, which has been a thought process for a long time, is helping people learn how to communicate with people, but actually being there and just being like, hey, actually watching me do it, and then them actually doing it, or making videos of it, or just being like, hey, you can literally be at a bar. I go to places by myself, and I just love doing it. It's just fun, I've always done it. What was it? Whenever I turned of age to go to bars, I was just like, hey, let me just venture off. Let me see what it feels like to just kind of be on my own. But I would say I love a group of people. If a crowd of people, I love getting people involved. And I actually love more too, also people who are typically not so loud, where I'll get them also engaged. That way they don't feel left out.
That's incredible. Oh my God.
I know what it feels like.
I'm the first someone to drag them in, because I definitely have. I'm the opposite of that. I have a lot of social anxiety. I always feel awkward. I don't naturally feel like I can go up to people and just talk to them. So I am so impressed that you can, and that you use that for good as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No, and that's why for me this is what social media does for me, for the people, because I'm not just reaching my city. I'm reaching actually a broad perspective of people, and everyone deserves to be expressive and to be who they are and to have enough courage like I did. When I was a kid, trust me, I didn't even talk to my own family. I was like staring at them like, nope, I'm not going to talk to you because this is awkward for me. And then as I got older, I just learned that I'm just like, you know what? I want to reach out. Like, okay, so in order for me to do this, okay, I'm going to tell you this right now, people. If there's anything that I said out of the entire night, failure is your friend, okay? It took a lot of failing and, like, going up to somebody and being like, okay, so saying it this way, obviously, like, wasn't the proper way of saying it. Okay, so now, like, let's change the words and the tone, because tone is everything. I say that all the time. Tone is everything. And then expressing yourself to somebody. So, yeah, I would say when I'm in crowds full of people, it's game over. Like, I'm there, it's just like, hey, let's all talk. And like I love people who do communicate, like, because I can see them. I'm like, okay, I see you. And then I'm also good at seeing the people who are not interacting. And like I said, it's really just being like locking eyes with them, having them understand, like, I'm looking at you, like, I'm going to ask you a question in a little bit, you know, it's like one of those things. And then that just moving forward. And it's always been so much fun every time I do it, because it's just like that thing where they feel comfortable and out, like, just comfortable. Okay, so.
Well, I'm excited for when we can actually, like, meet up in person, because I'm, like, excited to see you in action, you know, just making friends with them.
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. Thank you for your answer. I'm trans, 6 years post-op.
That's awesome.
Still only attracted to women. There is nothing wrong with that. Women are beautiful, awesome, fantastic, and everything that is glorious in this world. So nobody loves me now. What? Wait, only attracted to women, so nobody loves me now. Well, I'm letting you know that you got two people over here who accept you for exactly who you are and keep being who you are. And if they don't love you, go and attract people who will actually genuinely accept you for exactly who you are. Let's see. Tay Bubbles.
Who don't love you?
Yes, I'm personally non-binary and use they, them pronouns. I have come out to my parents, but keep getting misgendered. I don't know how to approach it. Do you have any suggestions? Okay, I want you to answer that, and then I'm gonna answer it with something only from like someone personally telling me how they did it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm excited to hear your answer. I mean, I would say, like, I always default to, if these conversations feel awkward to have in person, or you feel like you can't say, like, hey, you know, you're misgendering me and I feel this way, you can always, like, write it in a letter, send it in a text, or kind of, like, have your thoughts composed before that. Because I know for me, if I'm in a situation where, like, I'm really scared to tell somebody something, like, that fear, like, in the conversation itself will just totally take control, and I won't be able to, like, share what I really want to share. So finding kind of alternate ways to do that in, like, a lower risk setting could be helpful. But I'm excited to hear what you're going to share, because I'm sure, like, coming from the source, it's very good.
Okay, so when this person honestly would, like, they have the same issue as well too. I've actually have two friends that live in San Jose that do this very same exact thing. And it's so interesting how, like, they happen to be in the same area. And not only that, but in the same store. Because I travel all over the United States, just kind of like going in different Costco's. But what was it? They put pins. And they wear it consistently. And I remember asking them specifically, does that bother you doing that? Because for some people, it's very annoying. But for others, it's just more just validating of just being like, hey, this is who I am. I'd rather you know, like, up front, like, it's right there. It's like wearing wearing a logo, only like it's like you know, like on our Instagram, you put she, they. For them, it's like on their shirt. It's no different than that. You're just like a walking, like, telling people, just like have a pin, just being like, hey, this is who I am. And you can have them actually custom made too, as well, just so you guys know. There's certain websites, just go to those certain websites and you can, like, literally have a pin on you. You can put it on your backpack, put it on your shirt. I know people put them on the shirts literally at work, you know, like, your job can't say anything. And if they do, that's It's fucked up. But I would say that was definitely something, just kind of like break the barrier. Because then when your family sees that, they see it, like they see you, so they can't not see you after seeing that. And that
I love that.
Mm-hmm. And that I just like how they would see you, you know, like there's no getting away from that.
Yeah.
Hello, Clad. Let's see. Hello, I am an ally. Do you know what that is? An ally. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I am an ally. I go to WSU in the elementary education program, have many LGBTQIA plus friends.
Yay!
But also have been learning about all this through personal research as well as my diversity classes. Okay, I love you all. Aww. And it says, I'm also teaching my 7-year-old tomorrow. Happy birthday, Feliz cumpleaños, daughter, all about this too. That's amazing, amazing. Well, I just want you all to know that we super duper appreciate you guys for seriously joining on. This genuinely, like, oh my God, was fucking fantastic. I really hope we can do this again, because this was honestly not just only educational just for me, but for like the people who are here and the people moving forward who will be watching this. And I super appreciate you just as an individual. And for anyone who wants any more questions, any more answers, literally go follow and share Zoe. Seriously amazing. Everything that you have to offer is fucking fantastic. And keep doing what you're doing, because it's amazing.
Thank you, and same to you. You are changing the world for the better and making a positive impact, and I'm just really happy to be able to connect with you here. And let's definitely do this again in the future.
Thank you so much. And all of you have a wonderful night. Have a Merry Christmas, safe New Year, and safe travels.
Yes, happy holidays, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.